So I've got about 12 days to get Xiao. Hey everyone, welcome to episode 4 of Anemo Only. Today we're going to be starting the Liyue Archon quest. I am kind of worried because Liyue is geo-based, which most of us know that geo cannot be swirled. So I'm hoping there isn't any hard puzzles that need to be solved with geo during the story quest. But of course, it isn't fun without difficult challenges, so perhaps I can big brain most of them and not rage quit before we can even get through the quest. As usual, I read all of your suggestions on the last video, and I'm blown away by how much support and thoughtfulness everyone put in. Thank you so much! Also, thank you so much for 700 subscribers! Woo! I also got a new mic, so hopefully the audio quality sounds better than before. If not, we'll have to do some tinkering with OBS settings and my video editing software. As you've all noticed, Kaya and Bennett are in the party, but I don't use them at all, as you can see with their kits and levels. I only have them to get friendship points because I like collecting name cards, and we don't have the Serenity Teapot yet, so I can't really camp in there. A kind viewer brought up a good suggestion that I totally was going to talk more about in the first episode, but I actually completely forgot, so I'll be addressing that first while doing daily commissions. I usually do them off camera, but I want to show you all what I normally do as well as explain the account itself. And before any more people come at me for not using star glitter for wishes, yes, I know it exists, and yes, I use it. Just don't got any to exchange at the moment. But of course, the big question. Why Anemo Only? I'll try to keep this short, but I created this account because one, I was really bored and I hit a roadblock on my main. Genshin was my comfort game during the pandemic, and I've become so attached to it that, as sad as it sounds, I can't really stop. But of course on my main account, I've hit about AR 58, almost AR 59 now. And the grinding and mindless farming for talent material and artifacts have just been really boring. And so I thought, what can I do that will entertain me? I actually went through the character archive one day, and I noticed that Anemo and Heizou, like before Yelan's announcement, those elements had the fewest characters, and I thought it'd be fun to only use one element after being reminded of course, Java the Cup's Swords Only series. Then I put Heizou and Anemo on a wheel, I spun it, and here we are. Landed on Anemo, thus new account. Also, Kazuha. Yay! Okay, so dailies are done, and now it's time for Liyue. That season's hunter bow? Why does Child have that? I was going to say that Child is definitely Hoyoverse's favorite, considering he is one, or maybe the only one, of the characters whose mouth actually matches their voice lines. And also because of the amount of reruns that he had. But considering the bow that he's using... So I guess it's exploring time since I haven't unlocked the teleporter in Jueyun Karst. Nice! More Fremo gems! Alright, so enemies so far have been pretty easy. Wait. Oh no. There's 3 of them. 1 is already bad enough, but 3 is like getting thrown around like a rag doll. No! Why is there also animal slime? Ah! Darn. It really sucks that Geo can't be swirled, otherwise this would have taken considerably less time than needed. I was gonna try to get them all down at once, but it's proving to be a little bit difficult. But these challenges are really fun, especially for a person like me who's more into like the hacking and slashing kind of gameplay and not really thinking. So it is a nice change of trying to at least strategize how to beat enemies like these. Uh-oh, we're in the red! I think my characters need a little bit more energy recharge since the particles are coming in very slow. That and the little mini dinos are making it really hard to finish E skills and 5th attacks on normal skills, especially Traveler since his 5th normal attack is Anemo, and it does give energy back. Caillou heals to the rescue! Oh my god, I really need to change their energy recharge. Alright, so strategy now is just taking those Vishaps down one at a time, since they're doing so much damage, and because I can also use my E and Q skills against them, the Anemo Slime can just chill and wait for its turn to be turned into slime jelly. Okay, 1 down. 4 more to go. Let's go! That definitely paid off. Finally beat all the mini Geo Vishaps, and I guess the slime, Anemo Slime, ran away, so less work for us. I'll take those 5 Primo Gems. This challenge I had to do twice because of the Hydro Abyss Mage, which I think in my opinion is the hardest to break its shield with only Anemo. And I think we were lucky there that there were the Electro Flies, or whatever they're called, so we could at least be able to have Electro Charge there as well with the Swirl. Alright, not too bad so far. We've got a few artifacts from chests, so let's change their gear a bit. Wednesday today, so I guess we can't ascend their weapons. Alright, so with how Leeway is geo-based, I'm thinking of making Traveler as a physical build for now, because they do have the prototype Rancor. So Sai will be our main Anemo damage dealer and healer. Obviously I'll still be using Traveler's E skills a lot because of the Swirl Infusion, and also because of energy recharge, or like the energy particles that I'll be given back. Yeah, so I'll be using him mostly for just normal attacks, especially when enemies can't be swirled. Since I can only use Anemo, I really need to maximize the damage that I can do. Millilith fight was pretty easy, just because they couldn't do any elemental damage to us, and also the fact that they came in groups, so it's also really easy to bunch them together and hit them all at once. It's also really easy to dodge their attacks too, so I think the devs developed this to be a fairly easy fight, and also really predictable in terms of attack pattern. Oh shoot! I just realized I need to cook for Cloud Retainer. Good. Luckily there's a fire for us. Oh, that was really dumb of me, oh my god. Okay, luckily we can just go back to Leeway Arbor and cook some food. Speed cooking. I'm pretty surprised I have enough materials to actually cook these dishes. Okay, domain time. From what I remember, I think Cloud Retainer's domain was like puzzles and challenges and stuff. Oh, the pyro totem. Usually when it says recommended elements, don't really need to use them, but I guess in this case, it's yeah. All right. I'm gonna try something and hopefully it works. I'm thinking of like catching myself on fire and then trying to bring that fire into the domain. Might be really dumb, but we'll see if it works or not. So that didn't work, obviously. I've got a plan B. We'll try this out. Hopefully I have it unlocked. Shoot, alright. Okay, so in order to craft the Wind Catcher, I need to be at least level 3 in Mondstadt Reputation, which we're actually not far off of. Oh, okay, nice. Let's go do this then. Do some bounties and errands. What I found with Rune Graders is that they're super difficult to deal with without a ranged character, and also really tedious without some sort of elemental infusion. Luckily there is water around us that can be swirled, but since I can't one-shot them on this account, they really like to shoot missiles at me, which takes up a lot of time. When it came out on land, I had to run back and forth into the water to make sure I'm at least swirling some sort of element. It also sucks because Heizou is short, and so she's more prone to getting hit from the spinning attacks. Most of her attacks would also miss, and the only thing that I could really use was her E skill, which gives her some sort of height that can do some damage at least. I also had to be really careful of how far I went into the water with Heizou. Too far and she would have started swimming. You can tell I got really excited trying to beat the thing because it was so low on HP that I ended up forgetting to dodge. Okay, reputation rank 3, let's go. Let's make that wind catcher now. Oh. Okay, well then. I've never used this before, so I thought it would use crystal flies instead of the hurricane seeds. So at this point, I kind of gave up and just started pulling for Xiao, hoping he'd come home and help us with the puzzle. But I knew the probability of him coming home early was very slim. I think it's best to just skip this part for now and move on to Mooncarver and Xiao's part of the quest. Well, think of something on the way. Light up that stupid pyro totem thing. Manifesting early Xiao. Alright, so I've never used the Windcatcher before, but luckily it isn't a one-time use. So I'm guessing I'm going to be challenging the Anemo Hypostasis with Anemo. We should probably gear up. This is probably going to be a long ride. Okay, so because the Anemo Hypostasis is immune to, well, animal. My strategy was to make sure that everyone could at least do some decent physical damage, and of course stay alive during the fight. And because of how the Traveler's Kit works, where the 5th normal attack is like an animal slicing weave thingamabob, I think I'll be using mostly charged attacks and cancelling the 5th normal attack by sprinting. Time to go. First of, I'm assuming, many challenges against the Anemo Hypostasis. It's a shame I'm reduced to only using physical attacks. With a lot of the Hypostasis bosses, it's mostly just waiting games for when they are able to come out of their protective state. So with the Anemo Hypostasis, the strategy was just basically to hit it as much as I could while it was down on the ground, and also to use the wind currents to hopefully land some plunging attacks, as well as the occasional Anemo attack, so we could get the particles to make sure that Heizou has heals for us. I do know that a lot of you really want to see how I would fare against this boss, which I think is going pretty well so far. I realized while starting the Anemo Only account that a lot of the achievements that we could have gotten with different elements, aside from Anemo, we most likely won't be able to get, unfortunately. Especially like the one for the Anemo Hypostasis. There were times, as you can see, that I did accidentally forget to cancel the 5th attack. And also occasionally miss my plunging attacks. Overall, like most of the Hypostasis bosses, it's mostly just long hacking and slashing and waiting games. For this one, there was the occasional dodging of animal cubes. And not dodging. Thankfully, after a long time, we did manage to beat it without having it to revive again. And RNG was really nice to us that they put the animal particles really close by to each other and also at similar heights. I was actually really surprised by how easy this boss was. I was expecting more of a challenge in terms of gameplay, but I guess because I did challenge this a lot on my main account for Venti, Kazuha, and Jean, that I kind of do know its patterns now. Man, I forgot how crappy lower AR rewards are. Like, what is this? One? Really? It's going to take me at least 10 rounds at this rate. That's like 400 resin. So as you can tell, it mostly just became a repeating, mindless, hacking and slashing kind of thing for basically 4 more times. And by the time I used up all my resin, I realized it was almost 3 in the morning. And I got so sick of the repetitive gameplay that I went out to touch some grass. Kidding, I went to sleep. And so I went back the next day and fought the Anemo Hypostasis again because I was really eager to test out my hypothesis. If you don't know by now, well, I'm pretty sure you figured it out, but several characters such as Kaching and Venti are able to bypass the puzzles in Cloud Retainer's abode using their skills. From what I can remember, Venti can create like a wind current that will launch characters up into the sky, allowing them to glide from higher heights. So yeah, that's what I was trying to base off my strategy. And since we didn't have Venti, Budge of Venti using the wind current or the wind catcher was the only way. I never used the device before, and I didn't realize we had to capture the Animograna. So, after running around like a headless chicken trying to find these stupid things, we finally had 5 of them. And now to test out the theory. I'm really hoping the device works inside the domain, otherwise I'm not sure what else we can do. Yay! Okay, it's high enough! Alright, so the cooldown is a major killer, but luckily the strategy does work. It is high enough that we can move platform to platform without having to activate the mechanisms. So as the cooldown was going, I tried to study how this totem how to activate the totems quick enough, because I do see a pyro hilichurl over there, and hopefully if they can like launch us with a pyro bomb and we can catch on fire, we can hopefully swirl that quick enough and activate the totems and get the 2 primos from the chest. But as you can tell, it didn't really work that well. The fire went out really quick, and running around got me so annoyed. Frankly, I didn't want to get bested by a 2D bird, and I could have just made my way to the Cloud Retainer without having to go through all the trouble. However, I really wanted those Primo Gems in the chest. I think this is a good place to end. There is absolutely no way to get any of those chests. Leave a comment down below if you think I should use a pyro character, just for the chests. As usual, I try my best to read all of the comments. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye!